but I'm not sure about more than that.
I don't have any other questions.
Broken Wall's already come up once or twice in our investigations. We can give it another look around.
She tells you she doesn't have much in the way of contacts or influence in Broken Wall, that it's kind of another world as far as she's concerned. However, bringing up Seeker's mention earlier, if you happen to incur any expenses in the course of this investigation, she's happy to reimburse you. She's very worried about this. She's very concerned that people might get hurt, and it seems like you're doing good work.
Right?
She hasn't opened the letter, right?
You cautioned her not to.
Should we take a look at her magically, and I'll kind of look over at Florian for this one.
What if
Florian,
I open the letter?
Do you think we should have her journey open the letter now, when you can watch what happens magically?
Are you suggesting this with her there?
No, this would have come up ahead of time.
Okay.
Florian's counter suggestion would be someone else open the letter meant for,
Right.
Okay.
I'll open it.
and see what happens.
Drunk Gus don't give no hoots. Drunk Gus gonna open the letter.
Wait, Drunk Gus is here?
Well, we won't. We
Drunk
won't do
Gus
that in
didn't
front of
show
her,
up
then.
with us,
So
but he
yeah,
arrived.
at one point I will ask for the letter back as it's part of our ongoing investigation.
Okay. Yeah, she returns it. She has no interest in it.
Alright, yeah, I think when we get back, we have Drunk Gus open up the letter while... Who's among us who knows identify?
I do.
Alright, yeah, you can examine him.
Do. Okay.
Now, Florian, if you have a better idea.
I feel like those of us who can probably resist magic better probably read the rule.
There's like
Listen,
I could read the letter.
there's no better thing for magic than being sauced, you guys.
Yeah, I could read the letter. I have things against magics.
Okay.
Are we still in front? Are we still in front of Journey?
I
You
think
are-
at this
this
point,
is back-
For as long as you need to be. If you don't have anything else,
Because
she sets you on your
If
way.
we are, then Lucius just coughs and says nothing. But if we're alone,
We
then
are.
Lucius says, "I'm already bespoke for, so to speak."
That's actually why I don't want you to open up the letter, just in case it would interfere with what it would normally do.
Would you end up in like a situation where the two parties have to fight over your allegiance?
Something
that-
else we may want to consider as Florian tries to cut off Drunk Gus. As we continue to investigate this and make ourselves more pronounced and stick our necks out more,
Right?
we could probably reasonably expect that whoever is sending these letters is going to start sending them about us.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we could start charging more.
I'm sure we handle that if it comes up.
Ooh,
I mean,
that
we were
is
doing that anyway.
that's a good idea though. Like, watch out for. Like, we need to especially watch out. Like, make sure Kevin doesn't get any letters.
That's important. That's a good
Because-
call.
because
I
That's a
think,
really good call.
I think you're right that they're going back and forth between people who are up for being king, though.
Right.
So maybe if one of them targets us, hey, maybe it was a surprise election.
I think they're just trying to cause chaos.
So entirely.
So, how many people are actually up for kingship? Like legitimately, we're not talking about personal penniless. Like,
There's not an official election that's going to happen.
we like they're going to get elected by the council.
Percival Penniless is definitely one of the front runners, though. There are like three. There are 5 people who have an actual legitimate shot.
I thought. Oh, I misunderstood. Then I thought he was just blowing smoke out his butt.
No, he's got a lot of
He's
supporters.
super popular. Yeah.
Hey, wait, Lucius.
What?
Is the wish granting demon thing or devil thing? Is that a law one or a chaos one?
Law.
So we found out these letters are probably being sent by someone as a joke. Do we think maybe it's the other ones sending them and they're just trying to pull one over on the law ones?
I don't follow. Also, I'm not drunk. The idea was like I can get drunk and
If needed.
yeah.
Just let him know he's willing to
applied drunk.
So what do you guys do with the letter when you get back to the bars and you're having this conversation?
Alright.
So we haven't.
Who?
You
we
haven't
wanna-
identified this yet, have you?
Nope.
Do you want to
I-
spend an hour?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take an hour, 10 minutes. Right.
Oh, as a ritual?
Yeah, ritual's 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So who's casting
Go look
Identify
for it.
on it?
Florian.
Florian.
Since Florian has the pearl.
Cast Identify on this. You place the letter on a table. You place your hands in contact with the wax, which is what the actual magic part is. And you get very muddled results. On one hand, you get the strong sense that the wax is meant to confer information, some of which is contained in the letter and some of which is not. On the other hand, you get a very malevolent feeling from it, much stronger than when Seeker used Detect Magic earlier. The complication here... Actually, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Go ahead and take a guidance cigarette on top of that.
It's guidance sigs.
That is an 11.
An 11. Here's the problem. You know that when you open this letter, it's supposed to confer information to you, which kind of jives what the boy told you earlier today. Like, it kind of speaks into your mind. You also know that the letters themselves contain promises actually written down in Infernal. And you get the same malevolent reading that Seeker got when he detected magic earlier. Here's what gives you pause. You've cast the Identify spell many times. You have never failed to get what is essentially perfect information. You're very used to casting the spell on a magic item and getting detailed information about what the magic is going to do, how to use it, if there's a command word, how many charges it has, all this kind of stuff. All you get from this, aside from it's going to give you a message if you open it, is this extreme malevolent feeling. Your spell, it didn't fail, it went off, but it also didn't work.
Is the... Okay, it didn't work.
Does
So,
Florian
is the
smoke?
Yeah. He'll,
Okay.
he will absolutely...
I mean,
partake
because
in
I
it.
could have prepared some pills if you didn't.
My goodness.
So, is the fact that it didn't work and there is a malevolent force on it, do I assume that the malevolent force is blocking the true nature of what I'm trying to identify?
You're confident that if somebody breaks the seal, they will receive some sort of message, and more than that, you don't know. Something else may or may not happen, and you don't know what that something else is. You just don't
So
like
I
the
think
way
we-
it sits in your stomach.
And Florian will relay that to everyone about how very odd that the spell didn't seem to work properly, and there was a very heavy malevolent force on whatever this seal is and all of the additional information. My speculation is that if someone were to actually open this and actually read it, the text would form on what the reader wants to see and whatever dark desires that the reader actually has.
Do you want to
But
put
I'm
that
just
to the
speculating.
test? I'm willing to
I do.
open it up.
I am very, very curious about this.
I mean, that's actually pretty. That actually seems pretty spot on.
Who's got magic eyes
because-
today?
I have magic eyes today.
Does-
I feel like I can come out on top of whatever this letter is dishing out.
All right.
Before you do that, oh, this is going to be interesting. Have you told Florian your real name?
No.
No.
You know what? Let's take a second. Before we continue with the scene, I want to know from all 5 of you, is the name that I have, like your common name that we've been using, is that your real name? And if so, does Florian know it? Alex?
Yeah, that's going to be actually kind of important.
Yes and yes for
Yes and
Alexander.
Yes and yes.
Yes.
Okay. No and no for Seeker. And I guess for Florian, it's immaterial. Alright, that's useful information.
All right. Well, the good news is I can still cast Bless. I just
Okay.
have to burn a spell slot doing it.
Okay. Who are you casting
yeah.
Bless on?
I am casting Bless on Seeker.
On Seeker, okay.
He
Let's
gets
give him a
D4
guidance
for an
too.
attack or a saving throw.
Okay.
And that's a D4 for a skill check.
And Seeker, you
Or a
open
village.
up the letter after these spells have placed on you?
What is it?
I also want to cast just detect magic on my own self, just so that I can see this a little bit better.
So, like, what is like Seeker like? What would a devil or a demon or a fiend like? What would they entice Seeker with? Wonder.
I think we're gonna find out.
Seeker, you open up the letter. And words start forming in your mind. And as they're forming, they're immediately ripped out of your mind and replaced by, for lack of a better term, a voice that sounds, to your mind's eye, it seems amused. And it simply says, "You're not who I intended." And now we roll initiative.
All right.
I actually have an initiative bonus. I gotta make sure I add it.
So the rest of you, all you see is Seeker opens up the letter and nothing outwardly happened. It looks like he's just opening the envelope, he's broken the seal, and it looks like he's just reading the text. So did Seeker win initiative? 14?
14 is not mine.
Oh, okay, because you're sitting at 14 right now.
I'm sitting on the right side, which means I haven't moved
Got you.
myself yet. Yeah.
Oh, is that the shorthand for it?
Because we start out on the right.
Fair enough.
No, I did not win initiative.
All right. Gus, Seeker's just reading a letter. What do you do?
Just kind of look back and forth at everybody, going, "You think?" I don't see any like.
No, nothing
Demon-y
else.
stuff.
He's just opening. He's just reading the letter. What do you do?
I'm not doing anything.
Lucius,
Oh.
same question.
Packing his pipe.
Alexander.
Take another long draw off the cigarette. Can't cast guidance again because I'm already concentrating on his.
Seeker, make a wisdom saving throw. DC is 15.
Okay. Is this against magic?
Sure is.
And you're blessed.
I'm double blessed. Hashtag double blessed. Alright, that is a 21.
Answer me honestly.
Yeah.
What is the single most damaging thing Seeker could do to himself given all of your weapons and class features and spells and everything else? If
Give me
Seeker had to
rounds.
kill himself in one combat round, how would he do it?
Oh no!
Seeker knows.
Oh, I'm so glad that he doesn't have fireball.
Using all of my actions for that round?
Yes, in one combat round.
Probably the best I got is just magic missiling myself.
And you would do that by, you have your spell focus, like you have a little crystal ball or something?
Yeah. I have my quill.
You guys watch as Seeker takes one of his hands off the letter, reaches into his robe, and pulls out of his quill, and starts moving it like he's going to cast a spell. Then he stops very suddenly. And he opens his hand and drops both to the ground. What happened to Seeker is you just got this incredible urge to just torch yourself with as many magic missiles as you possibly could. This is the most deadly thing you could do to a person. And for some reason, this compulsion washed over you. You got about halfway through drawing the spell out with your quill before you realized what you were doing and dropped it. And we can come off initiative, because Seeker didn't actually try to kill himself.
And slightly shaken, Seeker will explain what he just said. And before he forgets the sound of the voice that he heard, he will cast Minor Illusion and replicate the voice so everyone can hear it.
Okay. What you guys hear, those of you who understand the infernal tongue, Seeker, do you speak Infernal?
No.
Then you don't understand your own illusion. It doesn't sound comprehensible to you. Lucius and anybody else who speaks Infernal hears the voice say, "You're not who I expected."
Fascinating.
Lucius translates. Says,
Wait.
well, that doesn't answer too many questions.
So,
Florian speaks Infernal. So.
And
Wait.
Seeker
Oh, I know
confirms that
that.
that's what he understood the voice to say, even though
Oh.
he could not just now understand it.
so like you heard a voice and then you just dropped the letter. What else happened?
It seemed like it was trying to get me to convince me to destroy myself.
So wait, you're saying that there was a magical compulsion
You
involved?
know you're holding your quill right now, right?
He dropped his quill. His quill's laying on the ground.
So here's the thing: is whatever sent this knew that included some kind of contingency to know who the recipient is.
Florian, make an
Got it.
Arcana
And-
check at advantage.
Is there still
And
magic
then-
on the wax there, Seeker?
No, there's not anymore. And Lucius, go ahead.
Okay. Then they must have included some kind of contingency to account for someone other than the intended recipient to open the letter.
Addendum to that, that was able to administer a remote magical compulsion, and we have several children running around. We have at least one guy running. Two. We have two that open the letters, right?
Well, we have all their letters.
How's
We
that,
have
it
Arc-
doesn't-
how'd that Arcana roll go?
18.
18. You hear Lucius give this explanation, like, okay, so there was some kind of contingency in place where they knew that Seeker was not the recipient of the letter. You think about that in terms of your Identify spell, and it makes sense because there was some kind of intelligence working on this wax that was able to muddle your spell. You've never cast the Identify spell on an intelligent item before, an item that could make decisions.
Oh.
But
Oh.
like,
Yes, that's very interesting. It all makes sense now.
What makes sense?
That's why my Identify spell did not work. It is an intelligent letter. It was making decisions and
It was an
actively
intelligent
deceiving.
letter.
And I'll fish through my stuff for the second letter. So you think this one's intelligent too? Like right now? Like it's thinking
must
of me?
be. It must.
no, for real, guys. Like, if they can remotely cast compulsions on people, then we have two potentially sleeper agents getting ready to kill this.
Well, it's not
ranger.
remote. It's in the wax.
Right.
And
they-
the wax is broken.
This wax
we
is
also-
I'm holding up the one remaining unbroken.
We also
seal
told the
cap.
guy that,
Yeah, but we also told them that they weren't going to do it.
Well, I don't think they are. It seems like if it's
The
intelligent.
magic
it
is
can
gone,
tell you-
yes?
Yeah, the magic's gone once it's broken. Florian, can you do anything now that you know that? And I'll hand you the remaining letter. Can you talk to it? Can you negotiate with it?
Florian, and I hold up my hand. May I please have your spell focus? And I give. Come on, come on. If we're gonna do this, you're not magic missiling yourself in the face.
So, Florian, what are you doing?
And what is Florian doing? We don't have any more pearls, so.
No, it doesn't burn the
identify.
pearl
Yeah,
anymore.
you have the same pearl.
Oh,
you can reuse the same pearl.
Well, first thing I gotta do is add it back to my inventory.
Yep.
But then, no, I need my focus to cast Identify.
You're casting Identify on this letter or on the wax as well?
If the spell has an expensive material component, it replaces the focus, right?
Even
That's-
better. All right, cool. Then yes, Florian will hand over his.
You cast the Identify spell on the thing, and you get the exact same read as you did from Journey's letter a moment ago.
Can I talk to it in any sort of way? Is
What do you say?
there a two-way connection? Hello, malevolent force.
You say
To
to the
whom am I
wax.
speaking? Yes.
One of my favorite scenes in the classic M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening, which is about killer plants, is a man says to a houseplant, you know, we're only here for a minute. We don't mean you any harm. And then he realizes he's talking to a rubber plant and he feels really dumb. And Florian, you say like to this letter that you're holding, "Hello, malevolent force. I'm talking to a letter." That's where my life has taken me tonight. But no, you don't get any response.
No response. And Florian shakes his head. Nope. Same as before. And I tried talking to it, but it's inanimate. So there was no reply.
Gus says, "Well, you could try opening the letter."
Florian holds out his hand.
Oh, right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do not need to open the letter.
No.
I think we have gained a lot of very valuable information. Should we go check on?
I'm legitimately worried about if these kids were they're not gonna tell us they're under a compulsion. And they very specifically those two that opened the letter very specifically, according to you guys, did not want to talk about the letters.
Who do we know?
You had to bribe a small child with ice cream.
We know the two kids opened it, and we knew the
Drudolf opened his.
Drudolf.
The gent opened his, I believe.
The gent
He
did
did.
not get his. He did get his.
Yeah,
Okay.
He opened it, but he
opened his. He intercepted journeys.
But the gent's the kind of man I could see him, and I just kind of like do like a washing off motion, just like off a duck's back kind of thing.
I'm just saying, the compulsion affecting me was very noticeable. I feel like the gent would have mentioned to us that someone tried
Something
to
got into his
attack
head.
him.
Yeah, but they were trying to kill you. They would.
Yeah, the difference is that seemed to be what it did when it didn't think you were the right person. So the wax is intelligent. It can't be
not that
sentient
intelligent
because it would go insane.
It was wax.
Yeah, it has to be like a dog.
Florian, not Seeker. Florian, you're in the Signers Guild. There are more subtle forms of manipulation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just like the gentleman.
Florian starts talking about some wildly esoteric thing that has just caught his attention recently.
And then Gus sighs and says, "I regret all my life decisions." Seeker, there are more. Can you give me some examples?
Yeah, sure. You could give someone a letter that told them you'd give them magical powers that got them out of the poorhouse if they were to kill someone. That'd be a pretty subtle form of magical compulsion.
You could turn a piece of wax. You could encode the intelligence of I don't know if you're a devil, I guess like a closet or a whatever they are, into the you kill the thing, you crush its essence into a receptacle,
Alexander.
and then you use that in the wax.
Alexander.
Yeah.
The mechanics of how the delivery system is not so much important as the end result.
You're not interested in an intelligence encoded in a piece of wax?
It's Seeker's mind that you're going into this a little too hard. The compulsion that was being played is the convincing that was going into the letter.
Is there anything?
Yeah, I think we're arguing Apple. I think we're just arguing, mechanics at this point. The fact of the matter is that somebody is sending out these letters that are offering their heart, everyone's deepest desires, and yet they won't. And all that's asked in return is to slaughter these people that has these candidates for the king.
What
of the House
is
of Commons
written on the letter now that Seeker just opened?
What's written on the letter?
Yeah.
Empty promises, just like Drudolf's.
But there's no specific victim this time?
No, there's not.
But there was nothing specific on the other ones we investigated.
There wasn't anything really specific on any of them.
I thought
just
that-
kind of
I
empty
thought-
promises on here's the great things you'll be able to do once you are my servant kind of stuff.
I thought there was a specific target mentioned.
No, because that was actually kind of that was a weird part of the investigation so far, is we couldn't just figure out what they had been asked to do from all these letters we've collected.
Drudolf's letter specifically called out Percival the Penniless. I thought.
In writing?
Yes?
Yeah, I
Did it?
recall that too.
Yeah, that's what I recall.
Okay.
If not, then...
Oh, let's
then-
check it. We have
then
it.
Something jumped the rails there.
Let's pull it out. Grab it out of the filing cabinet.
Okay.
Love filing cabinets.
Lucius, I can't read this.
Lucius takes a hold of it and starts reading.
And something... Reading it... Something very strange happens.
Okay.
You've read this letter before. And the promises were different last time you read it. It's going over a different set of conditions and a different set of promises now than it did before.
Okay.
And no, it doesn't say anything specific, but you're very sure that it's not the same letter that you read last time.
I
Does the
filed
letter
that.
itself seem to be enchanted now?
This doesn't with words that change on the page. That doesn't say infernal to me. That says something else. Because speaking from experience, these kind of things are very strictly and very methodically laid out in writing.
Lucius,
Hey,
make an insight check.
okay. Suppose.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
That's a 1.
Okay.
See, why are you asking us to make the terrible rolls? Because it makes you happy, I bet. Just brings you joy.
Are we going to warn Shemrith tonight that the kids might be trying to kill him anyway?
Actually, wait, back up a step.
Mhm.
Because I see McDohl there clearly trying to think of something, and I just get the sense that he'd get some kind of clue if he could just come up with it, and I nudge him a little bit. Mentally.
What did I actually roll?
You rolled a 16.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. You don't get any specifics out of the letter. However, the general... Because the whole point of the letter is to be, as you guys have surmised, a general list of, here's things that are going to be tailored to the specific person reading the letter. That they might want, that might tempt them. The first time you read the letter, it was stuff, Warlock power, magic, all this kind of stuff. Which was then confirmed, not for you, but for Seeker and Gus, when they went to the Tabashi's joints, the Dead Man's Den. And he confirmed, yeah, he's a magician, but not a very talented one. This might be a shortcut to getting higher magic. There's nothing about higher magic at all in the promises now. They're vague promises of freedom, of escape, of an end to it. And nothing about magic power.
Oh, no. Father Oswald, what are you doing to this poor man?
What's that?
It's still tailored to Drudolf's desires, and what would he want more now, aside from magic power, considering what we did to him?
I mean, what if he's dead and that's like escape from wherever he went?
Still, the fact of the matter is, that's kind of on us.
Eh,
The man tried to kill me.
he did.
Correction.
The man succeeded in killing me.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time,
Yes, I do not feel anything for this individual.
that means that these things are still. This thing still has a connection to that man.
Is anybody bothered by this fact?
The
Yeah,
fact that he's
Lucius
getting tortured, or the
absolutely.
fact that the thing is still connected to him.
Either or.
I'm more bothered by the second.
Okay.
I think Alexander is actually mildly bothered by the first.
Okay. And Lucius is notably, visibly bothered by the first.
Yeah, by both.
Okay.
Florian is not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he. Like I
I
said,
mean, look, you know the guy. Should we? And when the last time you talked to him, he said he was just taken care of, right? We wouldn't be hearing from him again, something like that, Lucius.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, I'm loaded for bear. You want to go?
Yes. Let's.
So anything else you do? I mean, you guys have taken an evening action already, so this will be a nighttime action, which means you'll be going up to the 56 cards very late at night.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
are we going and demanding like information on this man?
I don't think anybody. I mean,
Uh,
oh, you poor naive man, you.
What about? I can't remember his name. The guy with the kids. With the stumpy foot.
Sandalfoot. No.
Yeah.
Surefoot.
Surefoot. Are we doing anything about Surefoot this evening?
I feel like
assuming that's fine.
I feel like that the fact that we told him, like, yeah, we could go watch him, but I feel like we told him that this was in the letter, and I'm pretty sure he's probably. I mean, he's a seasoned adventurer. He's not going to just like go to sleep with these.
He also has people working for him that can keep
Right.
around if he's aware of it.
Very well. Yes, that is a very good point.
And if he dies from that thing, then to be honest, that's kind of on him.
Is 56 cards still open, Lucius, this late?
Not officially, but Lucius and Oswald are bosom buddies.
Yeah.
Are you?
Look, I mean, and look, like, let's be clear. The guy's an actual murderer, right? I would be okay going down there and putting an arrow through his throat.
Is
Just so you and I are on the same page, looking at Lucius.
Mm-hmm.
is murdering the same person twice double jeopardy?
No, they can just only put you on trial for it once.
So, to be clear, right now, Drudolf officially is not a criminal because you guys did not turn him over to the Moss Caps. They're still looking
Yeah.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what would Gus know about, like, what would the 56 cards actually do with this man? Like what are the
How
things?
dark is this establishment? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, like, how dark is this going to get? Like,
I mean, let's put it to you this way: this guy just had us help him disappear a guy.
right?
I think that says all that it needs to.
I need something for my lab. I'll be right back.
Like, Gus hollers back. That doesn't mean he's invisible.
And
He
Alex
wasn't
comes
visible.
back a bit later, a little bit more low, not carrying quite as much equipment, but he has a weird, large jug strapped to the top of his bag now.
He's been invisible once. Are you gonna spray him with mayonnaise?
Just a mayonnaise sprayer
Look, it's,
on the front.
I don't know if we specifically are going to need mayonnaise, but if we need it, we'll have it.
So, is the plan to go to the 56 cards tonight and try to find what happened to Drudolf?
Yep.
Okay, who else going on this endeavor?
I'm assuming Lucius is in with. Sounds like Lucius and I are the two who have a moral problem with this, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with, as long as you're explaining that we're not just gonna let this guy go and we're there
No.
to like kill him.
We're there to either murder him, or I guess we could handle him over to the Moss Caps. But realistically,
No, how long has it been?
why bother with the middleman?
It's been a
Like
couple
2
of
days?
days.
Like 3 days.
2 days of torture is enough. I feel that's
So do
fair.
you want to hand him over? Or do you
No,
want to kill him?
I mean either or.
Okay, that's fair. I think it'll be easier just to make sure that he stops suffering.
Gus really does not want to go,
Gus, you need your rest for the morning.
but like, I'm going to go because you assholes have. One of you died already.
That was me. I raised my hand.
I mean,
The other
Florian is not going.
Florian's not going?
Florian is not
So
going.
4 are going, 1 is going to go to bed. Is that what I'm hearing?
Lucius is going too.
Yeah. Lucius.
Oh, Lucius is absolutely going. It's
Gus
Lucius
is
and Alex who want to do this.
Gus, who has work in the morning, going.
So here's my thought, right? We go over there, we tell him hey, this guy's being magically tracked by some sort of demon or devil. I'm sort of leaning towards demon at the moment.
Mhm.
And we
Is that
believe...
that's the law one, right?
no, I think the
it's the
chaos
other
one. I feel good
Okay.
about the chaos one.
Seeker.
Yeah.
How likely do you think this is going to be, like, erupting into? And I'm asking you specifically because
Yeah.
we're on the same page on this. How likely do you think this is going to resort to blows?
This is why I'm telling this to the group beforehand, so that everyone understands my take on this.
I need,
we
like,
go down there. I'll tell you in a second.
okay.
We go down there, we tell him, hey, this guy's being magically tracked by a demon. We think if you kill the guy, that'll get you free and clear. He won't be able to track you anymore. And if he still refuses to do so, we say, okay, we just wanted to warn you. We find out where the guy's being kept. We kill him ourselves quietly.
Yep.
And then if he comes to us, we say, well, we told you he was being tracked by a demon.
So that's the plan?
I'm going to
I
bed.
like that plan.
Okay, so Florian and Gus have no truck with this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hey,
where's the
Florian.
porridge?
You want to...
Yes,
like,
Gustavus.
I have a keg. I have a keg downstairs. You want to just, nightcap?
Break out those good
It's
drugs.
always a pleasure with you guys. Absolutely.
All right. Let's go ahead and take our break for a little bit. Let's take 15 minutes. We'll reconvene about 5:20. Let me put Elizabeth
Just
on
been
screen
sucked
here.
up by playing Magic again online.
Oh,
It's
no.
You
terrible.
fool.
I know.
All right, let's go ahead and get rid of Elizabeth. So 3 of you
Yeah.
are going to the 56 cards.
Yeah.
And Lucius, I mean, the place is, it's middle of the night now. You guys have gone back, did all your experiments. Most of the neighborhood is sleeping. And Lucius, what do you do?
Is the door unlocked at this time?
No, it'll be locked this time of night, but you know that Oswald is within.
I'll knock on the door.
After a few moments, you see a flickering in one of the upstairs windows. And little door, or the window opens up, and Oswald peers out, wearing his nightcap at the 3 of you. So it's Lucius and Seeker and Gus down there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Doohickeys.
Here we are. Where am I? There we go.
Gus is not there.
No,
Lucius,
it's Alex. not
Seeker, and
Gus.
Alex. Okay. And he looks down and he kind of,
What the devil am I?
Lucius, to what do I owe this midnight social call?
We need to talk about our mutual friend.
He shakes his head and says, like I said, you need not concern yourself with him.
You might need to concern yourself with him. Reason to believe that he's being tracked. That he's being tracked by something.
And he opens his mouth to say something, but then he doesn't. You see a look of concern on his face for a moment. He says, can I beg 5 minutes from you? And he closes the window. 5 minutes later, you hear the lock on the door turn. And he opens the door to what is now the dark tap room. There's nothing going on within. But he's dressed himself, wearing his standard tunic and breeches. And he invites the 3 of you in.
Alright. Lucius walks over to this table and sets down one of the letters. The one that was addressed to Durandal? No, not
Drudalf.
Drudalf. I think we'll get there eventually.
He closes the door behind you. He admits Alex and Seeker as well. He says, Lucius, I'll be honest, I didn't think you had a stomach for this kind of work. And he sits down at the table and examines the letter and looks it over. Is this supposed to mean something to me?
Lucius says it's written in the infernal language, the language of devil.
He says, all right, if you say so.
and I need to know what is being done to I need to know what is being done to him. Because this said one thing the other day, now it's saying something completely different.
So I wonder if the name he gave us didn't sound like anything I had heard of. I wonder if it was an infernal name. And he asks if you recognize it. And the word he says isn't a name, it's an infernal phrase for "I'll do it." And he says that our dear friend, our mutual acquaintance Nodal, has repeated this name over and over, but I don't know who he's speaking of.
It's not a name, it's a phrase. It's a phrase. It's a phrase in Infernal. It says, "I'll do it."
He hands the letter back up to you, and he looks at you, and then looks back over to Alex and Seeker. And he says, I actually forget, did you guys tell him that he had killed Seeker?
I forget.
I wasn't
I
there.
don't think I don't think we did. I think it was just a matter of fact changing of hands with
Okay.
with Nodal.
He says,
Like that, we didn't even like speak to him face to face. We had someone had him send his people to fetch him.
he says it sounds like you may be of use to get to the bottom of this mystery, to figure out what exactly he's saying and what exactly he means. But he cautions you, especially you, Lucius. You turn a card and you throw dice, but there is a side to my dealings. If I include you on them, I must know that I have your confidence.
Lucius looks to the others.
Alex will nod.
It's dependent on them.
What about Seeker?
Yeah, Seeker will nod.
All right.
And he points at Lucius. Says, I'll take you at your word, and I hold you responsible for the two of them. Says, all right, let me get my boots
No
on.
word of the
I'll take you to him.
no word. No word of this will be spoken.
He asks, what about the other two?
Oh, believe me, I'm in no hurry to go talk to the Moss Caps about meeting a guy who disappeared someone they were looking for.
I mean, the man attacked me with intent to kill.
Do you two retrieve Gus and Florian on your way?
No.
Okay.
They made their point pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like, Gus would have told you, if you expect violence that you do not think you can handle, you can come get it.
We
But
can handle it.
otherwise, yeah. Like, but other than that,
Okay. He locks up his bar. And you guys walk up through the shallows and on into Wharf Town. And you walk up the main thoroughfare to Wharf Town, down to an old, dismal dock where you see just this little fishing boat just kind of swaying against the rocks. The thing doesn't even look particularly seaworthy. But there is a man kind of half standing, half sleeping out in front of it, underneath a lantern. And when Oswald approaches, and he gives the man a rough tap on the shoulder, the man kind of stands to attention and tips his hat to him, stands aside, and Oswald motions to the boat. Looking to the boat, you can see that there's a hatch in the middle of the deck. There can't be much below the deck. Like, it doesn't look even... there wouldn't even be a whole lot of standing room. But he gives you a nod to Lucius and motions to the hatch in the middle of this deck.
And reaches down, opens the hatch.
And there's just a dark cavity down inside, and you can hear muttering coming from within. Do you have dark vision?
I do. 60
Okay.
feet.
And there's about enough space for maybe all of you to go down and kind of hunch down and stand in here, but there wouldn't be much more space than that. Looking in the back of this little space, which is partially flooded as well, this little boat is taking on some quantity of water. And Yeah, you see Drudelf rocking back and forth, sitting in the back of this space. And you hear the slight metallic clatter of a chain. You realize his arms are fastened behind his back. He's just rocking back and forth in the darkness, muttering. You can't really make out what he's saying, but you recognize that he's muttering in Infernal.
Lucius motions for the rest of his friends to come down and steps down into the hold.
Okay.
And
Follow.
And Oswald comes in behind you, and he's holding the lantern. And as he bathes the room in light, and the light falls on Drudelf in the back, his head snaps in your direction. And his eyes, I mean, they've stripped him of his cloak that he was wearing. They've got him down to just shreds and tattered rags. His eyes are pitch black and glassy, and his arms and his legs and the portions of his chest that you can see through the rags are covered in these hideous purple boils. And there's almost a movement about his skin. And Oswald freezes and catches himself. We didn't do that to him. And now we're going to roll initiative.
yeah.
Man, Florian, this is really good beer.
Oh,
It's always a good time at
Wonderful.
Wharftown late at night. It's always a good time.
my stomach is so warm.
Right. You think that if they thought there would be violence, they'd come get us, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
No, I have a bonus.
Cheers.
She's doing like a picture-in-picture with Florian and guys kicking back with a...
Florian sporting a pipe.
Seeker. Right now the path out of the vessel is blocked by Oswald holding this lantern. Oh, I guess I should put Oswald up here too. Let's go ahead and put him on 0, because he's a commoner. Drudelf's head snaps up when the room is bathed in light. He's rocking more and more kind of ferociously now. And he's kind of straining against the chain. And the muttering is turning into recognizable speech. And he's just saying that phrase, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, over and over and over again.
He's repeating himself.
And you see something black starting to form up inside of the cavity in his mouth, across his teeth and tongue. And you have the first action, my friend.
Yeah, I've got no interest in that. I am going to... Just in case whatever is doing this needs his conscious agreement. How big of the room did you say it was?
It's about big enough for all of you to stand there, by which I mean Drudelf and the 3 of you and Oswald. But there's not a whole lot more room than that to maneuver. Basically, everybody is within everybody else's threat range, and Oswald is standing on the stairs... Or, I'm sorry, standing at the ladder leading up out of the hatch.
Alright. I'm going to assume we're all more powerful than this weak-a-sauce man.
This is the man who killed you in 1 turn. From full
Okay,
HP.
but to be clear, he's been beaten a lot.
Yes.
I mean hit point wise.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast sleep.
Cast sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
See, remember Eldo doing this exact same thing once
I'd like to point out that both of the half-elves who are immune to sleep are just drinking the night away.
Sleep doesn't target everything in the radius. I think it just targets what he wants.
No, it targets everything in the radius, but starting with...
Lowest
Oh,
hit
it is
points.
creatures I
the lowest hit
choose.
points.
Yes,
Yeah, it is creatures I
that you
choose. Okay,
choose
so
within
yeah,
the-
I'm
I think we
choosing...
went through this same thing in the first campaign as well.
I didn't know in the first campaign.
Yeah.
So how many hit points do you
Okay,
get?
so... 5d8.
Okay.
Which is 22. So I'm targeting him and whatever horrible thing is in his mouth, if that's a creature.
Okay.
So it starts from the person with the lowest hit points.
And dozens and dozens of unconscious cockroaches start falling out of his mouth and hitting the floor.
Ugh.
Moving or staying put?
I'm behind the other two.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm good here.
Okay, it's gonna bring us to Alex.
All right. Bonus
I played
action.
that game.
Alex pulls 3 pebbles out of his bag
Mhm.
and pulls a canister outside of his alchemist supplies and sprays them. He hands 2 of them to what's the proprietor's name?
Oswald?
Oswald. Hands 2 of them to Oswald and throws the third at Judalf.
Okay.
This is a magic stone. I'm assuming since I'm in melee range, I'll have to make it a disadvantage.
Yeah, if you're making a ranged attack, you're making it at disadvantage.
So that'll hit armor class of 20.
That's good.
And magic stone is 1d6 plus 5. If Oswald throws these, they use my bonuses,
Okay.
which is plus 7 to hit, 1d6 plus 5 magic damage. For a total of 11 magical damage.
And at the place where your stone impacts his body, his skin splits open like paper. And more cockroaches than you think could possibly fit inside the cavity of this man start pouring out onto the floor of the ship. Hundreds and hundreds of these cockroaches are asleep. They're not moving at all. They're just inert. But 3 of them are gigantic, and they begin to move and heft themselves. And are you moving or staying put?
Well, I'm not going to leave Lucius behind, so I'm staying put.
Okay, that's going to bring us to... I need... Well, so the 3 huge cockroaches get to their feet. They stand, and you realize they've got claws, like a lobster would. And they've got these big, beady black eyes instead of segmented ones. And they've got pointy ears coming off the sides that kind of form into their antennae. And their wings are fluttering on their back, making... like, you've heard a cockroach fly before? You've never heard a cockroach the size of a dog fly before. And that's what this thing is. And I'm going to need... Seeker and Alex. Why is Gus even on here? And Lucius to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 10.
I made it.
Okay.
Yeah, pass.
I mean,
Actually,
fail.
you can make this roll at advantage. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why I rolled again. I already passed the first time.
I passed it.
Okay. So a huge amount of I don't know how many cockroaches you put to sleep with 22 sleep, but these creatures direct the swarm of insects in your direction, and they swarm over your boots and up your legs, and there's so many of them. The floor becomes slick and slippery with just the slime as your boots are crushing them. And none of you are knocked prone, and none of you are blinded by these waves of cockroaches coming over you. And the 3 huge ones are doing this, directing them with their forearms in your direction. And that's going to bring us to Lucius.
Alright, I'm gonna use a bonus action and cast Hex on one of the cockroach, the large cockroach creatures.
Yeah.
And
What's
then
that? Are you
Eldritch
hexing?
Blast him. I'm going to hex. Is it saves? No, it's just ability checks.
Yeah, but just in case he tries to grapple us or something.
Yeah, strength. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Let's go to disadvantage strength checks, and then I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Do it.
so does Hex have no save? That's
Nope.
that's neat. That's a good spell.
That is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Okay, get a D10 and a D6 necrotic. All right, you're looking at 10 force damage
Okay.
and 3 necrotic.
And there is the most sickening sound as this thing's exoskeleton splits, and the floor and walls become even more slime-covered as one of these 3 giant roaches is splattered against the back wall by your Eldritch Blast. Are you moving or staying put?
Lucius is staying put with 6 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Smart.
Oswald is sitting there holding the lantern in one hand and these magic stones in the other. And
Throw it, Oswald! Throw it!
he kind of takes your lead and he throws one. So what is he rolling?
+7 to hit, and 1d6 +5 for damage.
All right.
That's a lot of damage.
And he throws the
right.
stone, and it hits one of these giant roach creatures, and the thing recoils in pain, and it's bloodied, but he hasn't killed it.
Back off, Oswald!
And then
Good
he
job.
scampers back up the ladder, taking the lantern with him. That's going to bring us to Seeker.
All right, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the cockroach that Oswald damaged.
Okay. And what kind of save is that?
That is a Wisdom save.
16.
That's a pass.
Okay.
Those some very
that-
wise cockroaches.
Does anything happen on a pass?
No.
Nope.
All right. And moving or staying put?
I'm staying put.
Okay, back to Alex.
Alex flings his crossbow off his back. He keeps the kinetic energy spray he used on those pebbles and throws it on one of the stone coins he's been carrying around. It sticks to the rail on the bottom, and he then fires it. So I need the first. What's the is there a piece of a shackle?
Well, what's left of the man is still shackled, but these creatures are not shackled at all.
Is there I need a piece of debris to catapult, basically.
Oh, yeah, that's no problem.
I'll just grab a piece of driftwood or something.
Yeah, sure.
That's collected on the inside. So the first of the 2 needs to make a, I believe it's a dexterity saving throw. Yep. DC 15.
18.
All right, and then it goes when he dodges, it keeps track.
You're cutting out there. The second
That's
one
like
makes
you're
a
roboting.
similar save.
The catapult launches the object until it hits something. So the second one also has to make a save.
Dex save. That one is only a 10.
Yep. So that's 3d8 damage to both him and the.
So the first one passed the save, but he still takes damage?
No, the first one dodges out of the way, but the object keeps moving until it strikes something.
Okay.
So
what if
it'll
everything
take,
passes the save? Does it just go around again?
No, it hits the wall, and this is the
Okay.
same thing that happened with that blade in the first fight.
Gotcha.
It takes a total of 8 damage, the second one.
What kind of damage?
Probably bludgeoning for one of those stone things. Let me look.
Okay. And are you
It is bludgeoning.
moving or
Yeah.
staying put?
Lucius is still here, so I'm still here.
All right, the second one is bloodied, and both of them advance. One to Lucius and one to Alex with their snapping, horrible claws. Alex, I have a 17 to hit.
Barely.
That's going to be 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And please make a Constitution saving throw, DC 10.
Passed.
Pass.
So it
And
was 7 damage?
yes. No, I'm sorry, 5 points of piercing damage.
5 damage.
And Lucius, I've got an 8 to hit.
That does not do it.
As the
Sorry.
second one closes in and tries to claw at you. And you manage to keep your feet and kind of slickly slide out of the way on this membrane of squashed cockroaches that are forming on the bottom of this vessel. That's going to bring us to Lucius.
Lucius is going to take a bonus action to move the hex onto the injured creature. No, the non-injured.
They're both
cockroach.
bloodied.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Alex
All right then.
aimed at the injured one and hit the non-injured one, so now they're both bloody.
That's right. All right then. I will aim at the one that I'm doing this as a disadvantage, aren't I?
What are you trying to do?
Because we're all in close quarters. So I'm shooting Eldritch Blasts.
Yes, if you're making a ranged attack, you're making a disadvantage.
Yeah, I will. Okay. I neglected to do that last time. I apologize for that.
Cheater!
We forgive
I
you.
know.
I will
apologize.
never forgive him.
That's
I
fine.
forgive you.
Nodal Steve.
Yeah, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the creature that's on me after moving my hex onto it.
Okay.
That is only a that's an 11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Okay.
So you manage to splinter part of the side wall of the boat. Moving or staying put?
Staying put.
Back to Seeker.
All right, let's get another Toll of the Dead on. I'm gonna go on the one that's on. You haven't taken a hit, right? Yeah, right, Lucius.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the one that's on
Alex?
Alex.
Okay. That's a wisdom save?
Yeah, Wisdom save, DC 15.
11.
Nope,
That's
And-
a D12 right there.
that is a nice D12.
Toll the Dead's such a good spell.
I love Toll the Dead. It's great. That is 5 necrotic damage.
And again, this thing's exoskeleton just kind of deteriorates from the necrosis. And the thing falls apart, and all of its various mandibles and chitlins and whatnot clatter to the ground. Moving or staying put?
I'll stay put.
All right, Alex, can you be the guy right here?
Well, let's grab another pebble, do another magic stone as a bonus action, and then another ranged spell attack is my action.
Okay.
I
So
think that
that'll hit an armor
nullifies,
class of 17
That hits.
for 9 damage.
And the third one, its exoskeleton splits when the stone contacts it, and it falls apart like the first two did. And there's still the clattering of thousands and thousands of cockroaches in here, and you can't even move without wading through piles of them. And whatever was left of Drudolf the Cosmic is buried underneath this horrible, sickening pile. You guys are covered in slime and roach guts and little pieces of antennae and insect legs, and might be the worst night of your life.
Alex, you took a hit?
No, I'm fine. I mean, yeah, I did, but...
Alex, you come out in front.
Mm-hmm.
Show your wound off.
I mean, I'll come out and I'll kind of show where the mandibles of the thing got through my armor.
So who's the first one up? The
Alex.
ladder.
Sounds like it's Alex.
Alex, as soon as you get to the top, Oswald grabs you by the cuff of your shirt and shakes you and says, "What in the name of fuck was that?"
If you'd like to find out, we have very reasonable rates.
And he lets go of Alex, and he points at Seeker accusingly and says, "To hell with your rates, I want an explanation."
Not sure.
He points to Lucius
Ugh.
as Lucius comes up. He says, You delivered this man to me."
I did. And Lucius will explain everything about the letters again and say, I guess it's since he accepted the duties which involved taking a shot at Percival the Penniless, that something happened to him.
And he starts
That's near as I can explain.
jabbing
Near
his
as I can
finger
tell.
down at the hatch as you're explaining. He says, "We worked him over a little. A bruise here, a broken finger there, but we did not do anything to him like that. That is not on me."
No, I'm not accusing you of that at all.
I could probably do something about your cockroach problem.
Oswald is... You've never seen Oswald shaken like this.
Oswald, I want you to remember, we came to you because we were worried you might be in danger. And we
Yeah.
were right, but we were just trying to help.
And he kind of composes himself as he's wiping the roach guts off of his tunic. Emptying
Lucius
out
gets
the dead bugs from his boots.
Lucius cast prestidigitation for him.
He composes himself. And he says to Seeker, "You're right. My apologies. I've just never in my life, ever."
Neither have I.
What's going on with the roaches below deck? Are they still there? Are they like...
You can hear him skittering about down there.
Now, we were more than happy to help you in your time of need, and of course, there's no charge for saving a man's life. That'd be preposterous. But you're a businessman, and we have our own debts. If you want us to keep looking into this, we're gonna need some help.
He says that whoever's behind that, and he's pointing again at the hatch, tried to kill Percival the Penniless in my joint.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you don't know who did it,
Not yet.
but you're going to
Track him
find
down.
out.
That's right.
The right price.
He thinks about it. And you can see that he's going from shaken and upset to furiously angry now. He tells you that if you find the person behind this, he will pay you 100 gold pieces to ensure that this kind of problem does not land in the 56 cards again.
We'll take care of it.
Excellent. Yeah. We have an accord.
And then he takes the lantern over to his man, who's just kind of standing there flummoxed and pointing at the boat. Get some of the boys out here and burn that boat immediately. I want to see smoke from the tap house. And he starts stomping off back in the direction of the shallows. Back at the barge.
Do we want to look this place over before we leave, or are we good?
I feel like
Before
we've
it gets
seen what
burned?
we're gonna see.
I kind of want to investigate the remains, and I hate to say it, but before they burn the place, I'd like to go down there.
This is really
I
good
can
ale.
detect magic on it.
You do that. Light me a torch.
Make a... So you make me a medicine check at disadvantage, because I mean you're wading through. I mean a lot of these cockroaches have started to escape out of the holes in the boat and out onto the water, but it's really disturbing down here.
That's not so bad. That one is a 13 untrained. No, 14 untrained.
So, they're actual remains of Drudelf. There was nothing. You don't find bones, muscle, organs, paper-thin skin. Like it was just stretched over this pulsing mass of bugs.
Like the guy from
And that's it.
Men in Black.
That's what's left of him.
Is there anything else of note inside the boat itself?
No, it's just the most disgusting thing you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
But you very pointedly, you don't find any
Seeker.
bones or meat left. in
Seeker!
them.
Yeah. Any magical residue left in the area?
No.
Lucius, he's concentrating on something. Lucius, please.
I'll hoist him out of the hold and then cast prestidigitation on him, and then
And about the
Thank
time
you.
you're done rooting around down there, Oswald's man shows back up with a couple of boys with oil and torches, and they set the boat alight. And you kind of
Yep.
stand there and watch it go up.
You hear a little.
Back at the barge, you guys are enjoying
And
your
that-
ale.
And
Right.
that, dear Gustavus, is
10
why
minutes
ducks
go
have a
by.
ballistic penis.
We walk in the door mid-conversation.
20
You know,
minutes
those
go
were
by.
com-
30
Yeah.
minutes go by. You think you
And you
smell
have-
smoke. Looking out the window off to the north, out, it's like coming from Wharf Town. There's a big fire happening. And then the door opens.
I look down and I go, "You guys smell bad."
No, we
I
don't.
casted prestidigitation.
That
We
smell
don't
great.
use a whistle.
That cleans the stains, but did you use it to remove the smell?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Without question. We walk in mid-conversation. You know, attacking an inn with cockroaches, that's also unsanitary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like you guys have had a fun evening.
it was delightful.
Is that why
So-
Wolftown is on fire?
At this
Hey, Wartown is
at
not on
this
fire.
point, we might. No, the cockroaches are on fire. At this point, Gus,
Wait,
if I
wait.
ever say I'm going anywhere near Wharftown at night again, come with me.
I
Just humor me,
okay.
and I'll show you the big mandible cut on my arm.
Oh, by the way, Florian, I've got good news and bad news.
Hmm.
Good news, he was barely being tortured. Bad news is
Yeah.
he exploded into cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
Well, I mean, for all we know, he's
Exploded
in
into cockroaches?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one
giant
for
ones
you.
and normal-sized ones. 3 big ones and a bunch of normal ones.
And I bring out a tiny
does that
sleeping
happen?
cockroach.
So maybe he's being tortured like in the hells, and that's Does the message change yet, Lucius? Did the message change?
Yeah, Lucius pulls out the paper now.
And it's blank.
It has gone completely blank.
Okay. Okay.
I guess that answers that
One
question.